Hello, welcome to Yarn Lane, or welcome back if you're joining us from Sewing Street. It's been the most amazing day so far, and it is going to continue. Today on Yarn Lane, if you're just joining in with us, we've been looking at these all day today on Sewing Street, and we absolutely adore them. First of all, the quality of the yarn is just gorgeous. The patterns are adorable. And obviously, yes, it's making me feel very, very broody looking at all of these. I really want to learn knitting as well. I've got into my crochet. I say I've got into my crochet. I'm starting to learn to crochet and it's coming along. So Katharine is adamant to get me knitting today. We have got something for everybody. Now already lots of people have spotted these patterns on the website. So if you've never been over to yarnlane.com, it looks very, very similar to our Sewing Street sister show website. This is what it looks like, yarnlane.com. If you click on watch live and scroll down, you'll be able to see everything that we've got coming up in this hour. So all of the tools that you'll need, and then the bundles, the kits, so they come with the patterns and the yarn. I mean, we haven't even thought about the prices of these kits, if I'm honest. I saw all of these beautiful, beautiful jumpers, and I hadn't even thought about how much they would be. And the price of the kits is brilliant. Obviously, there's been so much love and care and time spent on knitting them all. So thank you so much to everybody. And I do want to talk about all of the lovely ladies who's been knitting these for us. So if you do want to shop with us today, that is how you do it. If you want to get ahead, which I really, really urge you do, as already there are people checking out on all sorts. So definitely have a look on the pre-order section. It's such a lovely show today, focusing on baby knits, all knitting. Now, we are going to start with, look at this. It's just so cute. In fact, it's on this one, I must say, has been knitted by lovely Carol Walker, who has knitted this so beautifully. It's adorable. We've all been absolutely cooing over this. Oh, it's so soft. Carol, honestly, you have done the most amazing work on this, so thank you so much. I know that the buttonholes is probably something that people are a bit nervous about, so we will talk through with Katharine how you do those. But just look at it, it's adorable. So this is the one that we're going to start with. You do also have the pattern for the hippo. They're just so gorgeous. This one's been knitted by Teresa. Teresa's Constantine, who has knitted this one for us, and it is, again, absolutely adorable. Teresa, obviously you have spent, again, so much time and so much care, so thank you so much. And I was talking to Rebecca Reed yesterday, and she said, honestly, our ladies are the viewers of the show who have volunteered very kindly to knit these samples up for us, have done an amazing job. So thank you very much from Rebecca as well. So shall we do the hippo bundle first? So in your hippo bundle, you have your pattern, which is a Marriner. So you know obviously the quality of your patterns. Look at how adorable this is. It's so cute. So you have your pattern. You also have your blue chenille, beautifully soft. Honestly, I can't wait for you to get this home to feel it because it's super soft. Your Marriner chenille 100 gram double knit yarn, and then you also get your pink for your hippo, and it makes the most adorable jumper. Mum, are you watching? I wonder if my mum is watching, because she used to love knitting, and she said since she's been watching Yarn Lane, since we started Yarn Lane, she said, I've got to find all my knitting needles. She says, I've got so much stuff everywhere. Because I'm having a baby, she was like, I've got to start knitting again. I've got to do it. So, I mean, these are beautiful. And what amazing price, $14.99 to be able to get your pattern and the gorgeous soft yarn as well. So lovely. Then the polar bear, which again was knitted by lovely Carol. This has been very popular. You once again get all of the yarn that you need plus your pattern. This time You have a same in chenille. It's still beautifully soft. That's gorgeous, isn't it? It's so gorgeous. You have your chenille in the sort of sand colour. You also have your white, snow white. You also get 3 of your pebble, and you have your instructions. Your instructions are the same ones as your hippo, so you get both the pattern for your hippo and your teddy bear. Obviously, this one goes perfectly with your lovely polar bear. Oh, it's so cute, isn't it? There are loads of you who have got these in baskets, loads of you. It's already super, super popular. So, I mean, we've got loads that we want to show you today, but what we thought we'd probably do is section them out to make it clear for everybody. So, Katharine, how are you?
I'm good, yes.
Aren't they just adorable?
Oh, they are. I want my children to be small again so I can make them for them.
You were saying, when your children were small, you just don't think there were patterns like this out there?
No, I don't. I don't remember
Did you
being
knit
able to...
when your kids were young?
No, I didn't. I just don't think there was the beautiful range of patterns and yarns. I mean, this
yarn?
So soft and snuggly and gorgeous. And in fact, my girls, 16 and 11, when I was making up these bits, they were like, oh, Mum, it's gorgeous. We want some. It's like, won't quite fit you.
Oh, but aren't they so soft?
Lovely,
so,
absolutely so lovely. And the shades of colours are just lovely shades, aren't they?
Yeah, they are.
Really
so we're talking
nice.
knitting today, because I know
It's
you do both
all
crochet and
knitting
knitting.
today.
All knitting.
Yes, and what I was going to show you for this particular jumper is how to pick up along your shoulder to put on the little buttonhole band.
Yeah.
People often don't like picking stitches up because you've done your knitting and then it's like, oh, I've got to go back and I've got to do it.
It's lovely attention to detail though, isn't it? I think that is really nice.
It's really nice little detail on it, absolutely. Yeah. So what I've done my rib at the bottom, I've knitted up. It's not quite as long. My demo one isn't quite as long as a normal body would be, just because I kind of ran out of time a little bit doing it. And then I've started to, I've shaped where the neckline will be. So these stitches on my stitch holder here will be for the neckband when you pick that up. Your right shoulder is, right when you wear it, bigger than your left shoulder. Sorry, I'm terrible at left and right. Because you're putting the button band on. So that is how it's supposed to be. So don't look at it and think she's done something a bit odd there. It was right. So when it tells you to pick up your stitches, so along this section here, which is your shoulder section, you are going to pick up and knit 21 stitches. We're doing straightforward stocking stitch, so that's knit a row, purl a row, so nothing tricky on your stitches. So all you're going to do is sort of mentally take a note. We've got to get 21 in, which is quite a lot. So think about where halfway is and think, well, I've got to get 10 in along here. Pop your needle in. So you're going in. This is lovely, lovely fluffy yarn.
Okay.
And it feels gorgeous, but because it's quite hard to see the stitch definition.
Okay.
So what you can't really see the top of the stitches very well, but you're pushing in at the top of the stitch, taking your ball of yarn, and it's literally making a stitch and picking it up. Now, you've got to think, because you're going to try and do this evenly, if you do go wrong and you've got to the end and you haven't actually managed to pick enough up, it is only 21 stitches. Well, that's the smallest size, but even the largest size is only 29 stitches.
Okay.
You can pull it out and have another go, can't you? So we're just pulling them, trying to keep them nice and even.
It's done on sizes, isn't it? Not on ages, which I think is great for babies.
It is done on chest sizes, yes. And these days I don't know the different chest sizes, so I can't tell you really what age group it is. But looking at the picture, they're real proper cute little babies, aren't they?
Oh, they're so cute.
So what have I got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So you can see they are going in quite close together.
Yeah.
But that's okay, because then we'll fit them all in.
Did you say what size knitting needle do you need?
This one you need a 3 3/4 or 3
1/4.
Yes, this particular bit I'm doing on 3 3/4 needles. Now, for garments, it is quite important that you do your tension square and it tells you.
What do you mean by tension
So
square?
what you do is you cast on and knit a certain quantity,
Okay.
and that should fit a certain size. So on this pattern, it's 22 stitches and 31 rows on 3 3/4 needles, and that should measure 10 centimetres or 4 inches. So ideally you knit that, and then if your knitting is looser or tighter and it's coming out a different size, you can adjust the size of your knitting needles accordingly.
Okay, that's a good tip.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't matter for things like the blankets, but for a garment that you need to be a certain size, it is recommended. 2, 4, 6. I can't hold the numbers in my head, Vicky. 2, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. If I can just get along, and then I can show you how to do the little buttonhole as well.
Yeah, we promise we won't distract her.
Well, no, you...
Got to count.
I have. It's not the best thing, counting. Plus, try and do it neatly. 11, 12. Plus standing up. You've no idea how hard it is knitting standing up.
Well, I suppose you do it sitting on the sofa.
Because you don't
and
normally.
It's a lot closer to your.
It's a lot
eye.
closer normally, yes. Interestingly, I was looking at something last night, and I knit in the English style, which the English style is where, as I'm doing it, you wind your yarn round like that. And then there's the continental style where it's kind of fixed like this in a different place, and you just move your needles.
Oh no!
But I can't do it that way.
Oh, do you know? Last time I was on Yarn Lane, we had all sorts of messages about people who knit with the needles under their arms.
Yeah, that's
the
kind
thing.
of a little constant. Yes, it sort of gets tucked under here.
Right.
I can't do that either. There's ever so many different ways, but in the end, as long as it turns out right, it doesn't matter, does it?
Sorry, have you lost count again?
I think I'm on 17. I'm going to just keep going and see what happens. But you can see how I'm just managing to go through that cast off edge and make a stitch and pick it up.
I'm so pleased you love them as much as we do. The polar bear, that is so popular. It's absolutely adorable.
Oh, it really is. And lovely colour, the grey actually.
Well, actually, it's unisex, isn't it?
It is.
Really lovely.
So now we're going to do a row of rib, and our rib is literally a knit one, purl one. Across.
Have you got one contact lens in as well now, Catherine?
Yeah, just the one.
Yeah.
I only ever have one. Have to wear one contact lens for driving.
Can you just come slightly to your right? Sorry, Catherine. Just very slightly.
My right.
That's it.
That's it.
Thank you.
He needs to move his square. His cross. I'm off the spot.
We shall tell him.
Okay, so we're knitting one and purling one for our rib. That's better, isn't it? So there's only actually about 3-4 rows in this particular button band. It's not a big piece of knitting at all, but we'll just make, and you do exactly the same as this on your back, but without the buttonholes.
Right, okay.
Because that's the bit you will fasten your buttons to.
When you're looking at a knitting pattern, is it the same, it's all the same, you know, with crochet, you were saying last time, you know, there's American terminology and there's...
Yes, I've never come across different ones for knitting, actually. I think it is universal.
Yeah.
Okay, so then for our row, which is, which we do our buttonholes on, we're going to rib 7, so purl 1.
If you've got this in your basket, please do make sure you're checking out. It's the same pattern for the polar bear and the hippo, and you just get the different colourways depending on which face you want to do. They both have this buttonhole technique and they are both absolutely adorable.
Then we're going to, so we put our yarn around the needle, and we're going to just do 2 together, and this is going to make a little hole for our buttonhole, like so. Then we carry on with 5 rib.
That's perfect.
Okay, same again, yarn around the needle and 2 together, make another button. Oh, I think we're supposed to fit 3 on. I'm not sure if I'm not sure I've got the right number of stitches here because I did lose count, but you get the idea.
Yes.
Then you do 1 more row of rib and cast it off, and that's it. Easy and straightforward as that to do your buttonhole. So it's not as tricky as you think.
No, it's really not. So when do you attach your buttons?
Right at the end, when you've put the whole thing together,
Yeah.
you can stitch your buttons on the back band.
Oh, brilliant. Thank you so much for demystifying it for us. Because that, yeah, I think that would probably make some people nervous potentially, whereas actually it's always all in your pattern. Now, the polar bear, the one is very, 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 very popular. You also have all of your pattern for both the polar bear and the hippo. The colourways that you get with the polar bear are your pebble, your white and your sand. All of those, plus your pattern for $16.99. And I can't describe how beautiful it is. It is so, 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 so soft indeed. £16.99. The hippo as well, by the way, is also very, very popular. You get the pattern and you get the pink and blue. 3 balls of the blue yarn, 100 grams, and then you also get 1 of the pink, £14.99, and that's for the pattern as well. Right, now, can I just say, I'm so excited about this because Rebecca Reed sent me the loveliest email yesterday, and I want to know, Maggie, please, if you're watching, Maggie, would you message into the studio with your email address, please? Please, please, would you message in? Because lovely Maggie has said to me, she's knitted these, Maggie Priestley it is, who's knitted these, and she said that depending on the gender, because I don't know what if I'm having a girl or a boy yet, but she's knitted these and she says that I can keep them. She says depending on what, if you have a boy or a girl, she says you've got to keep these for your baby. How lucky. I've sent a video already to my husband and said, honestly, we are so, so lucky, and thank you so, so much, because they are so beautiful. I'm literally overwhelmed. They are gorgeous. These are the only hooded ones that we have, but if you are watching, Maggie, please would you send in your email address, because I'd love to send you an email. Right, so shall we start with the giraffes? They are just gorgeous. Even Elliot's going, oh, I love it, I love it. I know how much Elliot loves giraffes, but isn't this just adorable? Way over a quarter of the stock's already gone. Look at it. So you have 3 of your chenille yarns, which are gorgeous, plus you're then getting your lovely sand and you're getting your cream. All of those plus your pattern, £16.25. This is for, remember, the pattern for the giraffe and the lion. I'm thinking if you wanted to make, because it's the same amount of yarn that you get, isn't it? So if you wanted to do the lion in these colourways with your cream and sand colour line, you absolutely could. Absolutely could. Or equally, if you wanted to do the pink with your giraffe, it works perfectly because you've got your orange and cream as well. So whichever way you want to do it, mix and match, whether you want to make, you've got the blue colourway here if you want to do it in giraffe or in lion, £16.25. Brilliant value for money, and they are absolutely adorable. So that's the giraffe one, and made up, I mean, it's so cute. Look at this little hood. Oh. It's so, so soft. Honestly, Maggie, I can't thank you enough. It's so beautiful. Yeah, please do make sure that you message in. I want to know how you found working with the yarn as well, because it's just gorgeous, isn't it? We're very lucky that we get to fill the set with all of these beautiful makes, because they just look gorgeous. We've had compliments all day from all of our Sewing Street viewers as well, everybody messaging in about them because they are amazing. Okay, moments ago I said quarter of the stock's gone. Half the stock's now gone. If you do want the giraffe, check out now. Be very, very quick. We do also have the lion colourway. As I said though, you could do this absolutely with the giraffe. So if you want to do a pink hoodie, with these two you do your giraffe or your lion. They are both absolutely gorgeous. Now this is the part that we're going to focus on with Katharine as well, the mane of the lion, because that's probably going to be potentially the trickiest part. We'll ask Katharine. You also do get obviously your pattern, and as I say, it is the same pattern whether you want to do your giraffe or your little lion. It's great in both colours. It works really, really well. Both colourways, doesn't it? Whether you do your lion with the sand and cream and the giraffe in these two, it's going to work really, really well. Really, really well. Just $16.99. Absolutely brilliant value. And once again, thank you so much, Maggie, for making these for us, because they are stunning. The giraffe, I do love, I can't make up my mind which is, they're both just so cute and so tactile. I like the fact that you've got your little mane.
I know, they're just, you need both. You need both, don't you?
I know, yeah, I do. Oh, I love them. Right, so the mane is the part that you want to show, I believe, is it
yes,
right?
I thought I'd show you this bit because it was the one bit when I looked at the pattern and I thought, oh, let's see how that bit works.
Okay.
Yeah. So I have cast on, I'm on my 3 3/4 needles. I have cast on 102 stitches. So we're knitting the whole round piece of the mane in one go. And what you do for the outer in the orangey colour is exactly the same as what you do with the inner part of the mane.
Right.
So you do it twice.
And I think it's what you do for the ears on the giraffe, it looks like. That looks like the same.
Well, you'll knit those separately and pop them on.
Right,
yes.
okay.
Yeah. So I've cast on 102. I've purled one row. I've done the first little bobble because I was just trying it out. So, and you carry along the same all the way along. So what's going to happen is you are going to knit 6, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Then I'm going to turn my needles round and I'm going to go back along and purl 6 that we've just knitted. So we're only knitting a little section at a time.
Be very, very careful, by the way, if you have got the giraffe blue in your basket. Yes, because that will sell out in the next couple of minutes, is my prediction.
Okay, we're now going to knit 2 together, knit 2 and knit 2 together. So we're making a little triangle shape just on these 6 stitches. We're going to turn it round again. We're going to purl 2 together twice. So, turn it round again, and we're going to knit those last 2 stitches together. Take it off and we're going to fasten it off. Now you will see that I have got a separate long strand here, separate to the ball of yarn.
Oh, right, okay.
So what it tells you to do is you fasten your work off, so literally by just putting the yarn through your loop,
right, so
but leave a very long strand, because we're going to do the same process all the way along our stitches, and it means you haven't got lots and lots of ends to stitch in at the end if you've got a nice long bit. So I'm going to fasten that off there. Then it tells you to take a needle. I've got my nice big-eyed knitting stitching up needle. Thread it on. And just take your thread down the edge of this mane. So I'm just going to do like a small little running stitch down. And this is going to take your yarn back down to the bottom again, ready to do the next little triangle. Like so. Okay, I can pop my needle off. If you haven't left a long enough end and you do run out, it is not the end of the world to fasten it off at the top and join a new piece in for the next little triangle.
Okay.
The reason they're telling you to do a whole big long strand is so that you haven't got lots and lots and lots of triangles to sew in. Because it wouldn't look that nice on the end of all your little triangles.
No.
Plus it would be a pain.
Absolutely.
So, so don't worry if you haven't got it long enough to go all the way along, but reasonably long, you should get quite a long way. And you're going to repeat that process all the way along so you've got all the little triangles.
Oh, they're just gorgeous, aren't they? And is that something, so what was I just going to ask? I had a question in my head and I can't remember what it was now. My mind's gone. It does just add such lovely texture. So they get stitched onto then.
And then you stitch it on. When you put it all together at the end,
Yeah.
you will stitch that on and stitch the little face on. This is what's quite nice about these. They're very nice, simple jumpers and cardigans and hoodies to knit. You'll knit them up quite quickly if you're a decent knitter, because they're not particularly tricky.
Yeah.
But then you've got the lovely detail of the animals to go on there to jazz them up and make them just that little bit special. I like the fact with this one you've got a choice of a over the head or a cardigan.
Yeah, yes,
Actually.
absolutely. And you can, of course, mix and match the colours, it couldn't you?
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Perfect. But it is nice that you've got the option of doing it as a cardie or a hoodie. £16.99 for the hooded cardigan, which is your lion, and then £16.25. I don't know why that price is at £16.25. I think that might even be a mistake. But I'm pleased that you appreciate it, because a lot of people have secured those already. Honestly, they are gorgeous. Feel very lucky, I love them. Please do make sure you send in your photographs of your makes as well. Share them on the Yarn Lane fan page as well, because it's such a lovely community to see everybody's makes. These, just so you know, have been the most popular designs of the day so far. Just a reminder, if you do want the giraffe colourway, as I say, or the blue colourway, I should say, because you can do it obviously with either. Your giraffe colourway, you have your pattern, you have all of your yarn, and it is so super soft. This is again with that chenille, gorgeous Marriner yarn. Plenty of yarn there to be able to make it, and it's measured in chest sizes. They're all here for just £16.25. Lots of people buying multiples. I wonder if you're making for siblings. Oh, this would be so lovely. Little matching cardigans. Oh, I love it. And oh, Kat's thinking of adding little ears onto the hoods as well. Gosh, you are getting very good at your knitting now, Kat, aren't you? In her head, she's saying, in my head. Right, next one. Let's do the lovely birds. Look at these. Look at these. Now, they are, again, in that beautiful chenille, which is super soft. And these have been knitted. Are you ready? Big shout out to Karen Hatton. Karen Hatton, thank you so much for taking the time to knit these for us. They are absolutely beautiful. The whole team has been amazed by all of them. They're just so gorgeous. We're going to start with the pink, which is this one. So the pink one is beautiful. You get in there your pattern. You also have, again, all of your yarn. Let me just move these ones out of the way so we don't get confused. So this is the pink. You have 3 of your Marriner chenille yarns in pink. You also have 1 of your chenille yarns in grey. Plus you have your instructions. You have all of your pattern. £14.99, and it's so soft. It is so soft. Very excited for you to get it home. Mariner's gorgeous quality yarn. Now this one, it has this raglan sleeve. So a raglan sleeve, Katharine, what is a raglan sleeve?
Well, it's the shape of the sleeve. So you can see on the example that you've got, so the one I'm wearing, you can see it's a seam like that, but it comes up like this. So the top of your sleeve actually forms part of your neckband as well. Okay. So you've got quite a lot of shaping in a raglan sleeve. That's the little bit I'm going to show you in
adorable,
when you're ready.
Yes. Absolutely. We also have it in a blue colourway. If you do want the blue, you get 3 of your blue super soft chenille yarns, plus you get the grey for the detail in that lovely bird. And look at it, it's so cute, again with your raglan sleeve and your pattern. And it looks like there's a pattern in here as well to do a little dinosaur. Oh, so cute. They call this blue cloud blue, and it is. Look, the little dinosaur as well, so you get a pattern for the dinosaur. £14.99. Look at his googly eyes as well. Oh, have a look on the website because we've got lots of different Marriner yarns. So if you do want to make that one, there's lots of different colours that you can choose from. This is again double knit yarn, perfect for little toddlers, gorgeous, all your sizes once again are at the top of your pattern, whether you want to do the bird or the dinosaur. £14.99. And again, big shout out to Karen for knitting these for us. So the raglan sleeve, Catherine, over to you.
Okie dokie. So I've got up to the point where I'm going to start shaping my raglan. I've done my rib, knitted up. You can see that I've been increasing as I've gone out there, and then we're actually going to start to take it back in again. So we're going to start off by casting off 3 stitches. So casting off is really easy. It's easier than casting on. You just knit one and you take the back one over the top. So we're going to cast off 3 at the beginning of the next 2 rows. We're just knitting in stocking stitch, so that is a knit row and purl row. And we're on a knit row on the right side. So we'll whiz across. It's quite useful when you're doing something like a raglan sleeve or something where you've got a gradual amount of decreasing over a few rows. You might want to have a row counter or some way of just recording where you're at. So this one isn't particularly difficult because you're actually decreasing on every row, but sometimes on larger garments you're doing it, say, every 3rd row, or and it's easy to lose track sometimes.
Are the little stitch counters the little circular ones?
Yeah, you can get them on the end of you can pop them on the end of your needle and just turn it every time you do a row. Oh, I'm with you. There's lots of, or you can just write it down as you're going along. And you
highlight your pattern?
Well, I highlight them for the purposes of doing it here on the telly, because I'm only picking out a certain bit for you so that I can see what I'm doing. Yeah. I think we've come to the conclusion today that I need to go to the opticians for some reading glasses, maybe. I'm in denial because it's a sign of getting older.
Oh no. No, it's not. It's not at all.
Whereas if I've highlighted it in yellow, I can see it fine, you see.
You can carry on being in denial for a little longer. We've had a question come through about a kit. Beverly, the giraffe with the pink. So what you can do is get the lion. It's called the lion, and it will work because you've got the pattern as well. So the giraffe will be orange and cream. The only thing is you will need to do it as if you're doing the hoodie, because obviously, as if you're doing the cardigan.
You could put the giraffe on either the hoodie or the cardi, but you couldn't put the lion on the cardi, could you?
Yes.
Because of the buttons.
Because you have all of the lovely colours. So if you went for that,
because the pattern's got both in and you've got enough yarn for either, then you can choose.
Yes. Brilliant.
So I'm on the next row, on the purl row, again, I'm casting off 3 at the start. And then it tells you to just decrease 1 stitch at the end of the next 9 rows. And to decrease a stitch, you're just going to knit or purl 2 together at the start and at the finish of the row. So it's really not that difficult. It's just keeping track of where you're at, so that you have the right number of stitches. And you keep going down until you've got 12 stitches left. So I'm not going to knit all of that because that's quite a lot of decreasing, but it's just to talk you through the idea of how to do it. And when you knit your fronts and backs, you do a similar kind of decreasing so that you'll be able to stitch them together because they'll be the same shape.
Brilliant, amazing. This is something that's quite therapeutic, isn't it? You could just keep knitting and knitting.
Knitting's
away.
ever so therapeutic, and these are good tele knitting projects because they're fairly straightforward, not patterned. You're just knitting or purling.
Oh,
so
lovely.
you can do it like I'm doing here. You
Yeah.
could do it without looking at it. You can do it and watch the telly at the same time, which
I
is
need
always
to get
a good
into
thing.
this, don't I?
You
I
do.
do. I would love to have a go.
My little puppy does try and eat the wall though. She's like, oh, I like the look of that, and jumps that.
Yeah, cats or dogs actually. I bet they love it.
When I'm sewing, she puts her little paw on the machine foot and tries to press it as well.
Oh.
So she's probably going to sew through my finger at some point, isn't she?
If you've got any questions, by the way, please do keep getting them in. Get them in if you have got any questions whatsoever for Katharine. Now, are we ready to do the blanket?
Oh, yes.
So, we've got two which have been, well, we've got one that's been knitted by Carol. I must say, Kat has had her eye on this. It's so, so beautiful. I love that bobble edge. It's so soft, it's so white, and it's just adorable. Absolutely love it. Is this something that someone who is a beginner knitter could do, or is this quite difficult?
No, this is the easiest one of everything.
Right, let's do it, Kat.
Because there's no shaping and it is just knitting. It's called garter stitch when you knit every row.
Okay.
So the only bit that you need to know about is the bobble on the edge, which
Yeah.
I'm going to show you how to do.
Right, here we go then. No excuse. Let's do it because this is so beautiful, isn't it? Now, you get 3 lots of your 100-gram Snow White chenille super soft double knit yarn, plus you're also getting your 3 of, no, I've got the wrong one, sorry. Oh, of course, you don't get any grey, you don't need any grey. You've also got your instructions. Now, you do get the grey, by the way, the pattern for the grey, but we're doing the white. This is the bobble edge blanket, and this is the cobnut blanket, which I believe is the technical term. Cobnut, have you heard that before?
On the grey, well, I think it's the pattern, isn't it? Yes.
So you also get your pattern. £11.99. Three of your yarn is going to be enough to be able to do the whole blanket.
Yeah.
It's a
That
lovely
is a
size
bargain.
blanket. It is, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. That's really good price.
This is what I mean for someone who is new to knitting. There is no excuse now, is there?
No.
Your
You
pattern.
have to make one of these.
Yeah, I'm going to do it. Right, I'm going to start it today. Would you help me cast on and start
Yes.
it today? Oh, this is where I need to learn how to cast on because this is the problem. I remember I used to do knitting when I was at school, but I would always ask someone else to cast on for me. So.
That's because I think casting on's the trickiest bit. And when you're learning, when I teach knitting, I often will cast on for people because that in the first row is the hardest bit.
Yeah.
And then you're just learning the stitches.
Yeah.
Yeah. I know
Okay.
when my mum taught me, casting on was like the last thing she taught me to do.
Oh, it's so lovely,
But you'll
isn't it, though?
yeah, we'll get you going.
Oh, right, we've got to give it a go. Right, so £11.99, that's for the white. Do you want to do the grey now or do you want to do the bobble stitch? Just quickly, just so then you can make up your mind which one you want. Thank you ever so much again. It's Carol, wasn't it? Carol who knitted this. It's so beautiful. And also, this one was Teresa again. Teresa's been busy for us. Look at this. Oh, this is gorgeous. So because you get the same amount of yarn, you get 3 balls. I suppose you could do this technique with the white, or you can mix and match if you want to do the bobble edge with the grey.
Totally.
It's up to you.
Yes, because your pattern's got both on. So it's up to you. Which one? In which colour? Or both.
Oh.
Buy both.
Yes, Kat. Kat's saying, do you know, if you've got Kat is saying, if you've got a friend who's having a baby and if you want to knit them something, and she's looking at me, go on, if you've never knitted before, you can have a go, Kat. It's so lovely. Is this one, would you go with that one first then?
That's slightly
The
easier
garter
because
stitch.
it is just knitting.
Okay.
Yes. The cob nut one, you've got a 12-row pattern. And
Yeah.
again, it's only knitting and purling, but it's the order that you do them in. So you have got to follow your 12 rows.
Right, okay.
Yeah.
That one is beautiful though, the bobble edge. Come on
It
then.
looks very lovely in the white as well, doesn't it?
It does.
Yes.
It does. Will it stay white? You can wash
Well,
these,
not
can't
really
you?
with a baby, but you can
You
wash
can
them.
wash
I mean,
these.
these yarn, that's what's so lovely about these yarns. They are so washable
Oh, that's good.
and easy to look after. Yes. Now, you do normally, if you're knitting the whole blanket, you will cast on 156 stitches. But I didn't cast on that many because that would have been quite boring for you to watch me do. So I've only cast on a little sample. However, I started knitting this, and this is when my daughters were like, oh, mummy. And I did say to them, do you know what? I'll finish the ball and you can have it as a scarf.
Oh, it's so lovely. Yes.
So it's ever so easy. We've got our stitches. To make the little bobble, we're going to cast on 3 more stitches. Now that is just like knitting through, making a new stitch and then popping it on that needle there. I'm going to push it through, go round, make a new stitch, pop it back on the needle. And a third one. Okay. So I've got 3 extra stitches on the back there. Can't get it on. I'm on 4mm needles, by the way.
Thank you. All of the needles are on pre-order
Now,
on our website.
Then you work into the back of your stitch and you're going to cast them off again. So you're going to knit it, slide it off, knit the next one, slide it off and then cast it off by taking one over the top of the other. Knit one, slide it off and then cast off the third one. Okay, now hopefully you can see that my little bobble has formed there. Just by casting on 3, casting off 3 at the start of the row. Then I'm going to knit straight across to the end. So you do 2 rows where you do your bobble on each end and then you do 2 rows of plain knitting and it's that all the way down.
So you don't do the bobbles at the end, you do it at the end of each.
You do the bobble
row.
at the start of each start of the row.
Yeah.
But you don't do it on every single one. It's over 4 rows. So bobble on one, bobble on the next one, and then 2 plain rows. And you see the part in between is literally just plain knitting.
Yeah, this is the knitting I can do. Fine, I'm all right with this.
So if you can do this,
Yes.
well, you said you can't knit. If you could do
Oh,
this,
I can
this
do
is
this.
knitting.
I know, yeah, but I don't know. I think I get, I think I just get, I don't know why I get nervous.
There
about
are only
it.
2 stitches in knitting and purling.
Yeah.
Yes, so you can do 50%.
Is this one another one that you have to be careful of your tension, or is it a little bit more forgiving?
It's a bit more forgiving because it's a blanket. You haven't got to make it fit. I wouldn't worry too much. If it was me, I wouldn't do a tension square. I'd just get right into it and knit it because you want to get on with it. And it won't matter if it's not exactly the right size, will it? Everybody's got their own tension that they work to. So you can see it's made that little bobble on the end.
Oh, it's so lovely. It is, isn't it?
It's clever. It's very clever.
So
it's very
clever.
simple and very, very effective.
Have you got to the end again that you can do another bubble?
Yeah, I can do another bubble. I will show you again. So we're going to cast on 3. So we're making the stitches just by knitting in to the bottom of the stitch like so.
Tell you what, little baby blankets are so expensive as well. £11.99. That's so good, isn't it?
And they're very useful things to have, actually. You
just
want
over
a
the
few
pram.
around to when you get them out the bath and, you know, in the pram and on the play mat, and because then they'll be sick on one and one's got to go in the wash and all that glamorous stuff.
How long is this going to take me to do?
Well, I'd definitely probably start.
Yeah.
If you're not a particularly, I mean, it isn't difficult, but it depends how fast a knitter you are, doesn't it? So I'm now casting them off again. Literally cast them on, cast them off. And if you notice, now normally you'd knit in like that but it tells you to knit in the back. So my needle's going into the back of the stitch there to knit it round and cast it off. Okay, so there's another little bobble made. And then just knit across to the end. And every so often you can just stop and check that you've still got your right number of stitches on there. Because this is often what beginners have problems with, keeping the right number of stitches.
Yeah.
You know, and if you drop one with knitting or you make an extra one, it's quite hard as a beginner to discover where that is and to put it right.
Are you seeing your stitches easier with this one?
Well, I think because the colour, definitely, the colour makes it easier.
Yeah, I was going to say, it seems to be, you know, a bit easier to find the stitches because it is very fluffy yarn.
It is quite fluffy yarn.
It's so soft.
But in a good way.
Yeah.
In a good way. And it's fluffy, but it doesn't shed. Because there's nothing worse than a fluff that sheds on you.
Ah, that's a good point, actually. Absolutely.
It feels like, you know, there's that really lovely soft fleece you get. That fleece fabric you get that's super soft. It's just like that, isn't it? It is just the softest thing. I don't think I've felt yarn like this before. It's just lovely. It is lovely to knit with.
Well, Marriner, I mean, they are award-winning manufacturers, aren't they? They're very good at what they do, and the quality is stunning.
So
it is gorgeous.
Another bobble there, and you literally keep going until it is 79 centimetres or 31 inches long.
I mean, it's a lovely size, isn't it? It's perfect, you know, like you say, to just have over the pram, over the legs, to be able to have, even if you're thinking as a little lap blanket, even not as for a baby, this is really nice to have as a lap blanket. Kat says, right, I'm not having mine for a baby, this is for me. She says, I'm not gifting it to you, Vic. Carol, the amount of people, it is coming back to you, don't worry, Carol, but the amount of people who have loved it. So you've inspired us all that we want to make our own. So thank you ever so much for knitting this, because it's so, so beautiful. And thank you ever so much, Katharine. Is there anything else that you wanted to mention about it?
I don't think so, because they aren't particularly tricky patterns, any of these. So if you are, you know, new to knitting, give them a go, definitely. They're really achievable patterns.
Have you used those knitting needles with the circular
ones?
Yeah.
I have. I'm personally not a fan of them.
Okay.
But some people always use them and use them instead of straight ones. So that's kind of personal preference. They are quite good if you've got lots and lots of stitches.
That's it. If you're doing blankets, I know that's why I thought about it. I've seen people using.
So you might like one for if you've got 156 stitches. Absolutely.
Right.
So, you know, give it a go if you haven't.
Oh, it's amazing, isn't it? Thank you very, very much. When are you back?
When am I back? 2 weeks, which is, goodness me, February.
Oh, I
February
know.
the 12th, I believe.
Although, Kat was saying to me yesterday, I feel like January's just been dragging so much. I feel like it's lasted forever. And I'm like, no, I think January's gone so quick. Can't believe we're almost
It's often a long, slow month, but suddenly we've reached the end, haven't we?
Yes.
Which is good.
Yes, we are approaching spring. You're with the other team on the 12th, so we'll see you.
Am I?
Yeah, we'll see you.
But that's a Friday, isn't it?
I know, I don't know why it's kind of changed over us slightly. So you're with the other team, but we will see you soon. Yes. Thank you. Thank you so much. It's been brilliant, isn't it? It's really good to be able to watch back these shows as well and have the demonstrations whilst you're knitting, and if there's anything that you're unsure of. Just so you know, of course, one of the most popular makes of the day, and in fact 4 brand new customers have bought this today. I'm so excited for you. Right, we're learning together. We can do it. Please will you message me or I will keep my eye on the Yarn Lane fan page to let me know how you're getting on, and I will keep you updated with my knitting journey as well. Perfect for beginners. Katharine has assured us we can do it, beginners. And such a beautiful end result. We all said as soon as this came in, bearing in mind this is a beginner project, it looks so expensive. It looks like something you'd pay, especially with the quality of this beautiful, beautiful yarn. £11.99. This was Carol. Thank you ever so much, Carol, for knitting this for us. And I know from Rebecca Reed as well. Rebecca Reed wanted to pass on her thanks as well. She sent me a big email yesterday. We've loved having these in the office, and they will be coming back to you. Oh, it's gorgeous. So the white, just to remind you, you have your pattern plus you have your 3 Marriner yarns, all for $11.99 in that lovely stone white. It's washable, absolutely. Talking about baby makes here, we need to make sure that they're washable. So Marriner is fantastic for washing as well. Now we also have the grey. Now in the grey, you have the pattern. Oh, look. You have the pattern for the cob nut, and you also have the pattern for the bobble edge. So it's up to you whether you want to do the bobble edge that we've just seen, but in grey, as I know grey, do you know, is very on trend, isn't it? Lots of people's nurseries always doing grey, or if you go to Next, John Lewis, if you have a look on any of the baby blanket sort of websites, you will see lots of different greys and how much you can pay for them as well. But to be hand knitted, I just think is so special. It's something that if I knit a blanket for my baby, then they are keeping it until that they are, and they do. I remember my blanket that I had when I was, well, I still have my little blanket that I had from when I was baby. So they're so lovely to keep, aren't they? £11.99. Again, you do get your pattern and your 3 balls of yarn. These blankets are perfect if you've never taken the plunge. Maybe you watch our sister channel Sewing Street or Jewelry Maker, and you found us recently. We're now doing 4 days a week. So you've got plenty of demonstrations, and there's loads on YouTube, obviously. If you purchase with Sewing Street today, then it's the same postage and packaging. It's the same login details. So don't worry, you don't need to faff about with opening a new account. It's literally the same. It's just a different phone number, but the same team that you'll get through to as well. So have a chat with them if you do want to add these to your order and give it a go. What's the worst that can happen? $11.99. If you don't get on with it, you don't get on with it. But it's brilliant, especially therapeutic hobby when we've all got more time on our hands. Right. So we're going to have to go back to the giraffe because the giraffe is now single figures. I'm just going down to the basement, bear with me. Right, so your giraffe comes with your pattern, which is your Marriner pattern. It comes with 3 of your grey. In fact, no, I've got the polar bear one, haven't I? Is it this one? There it is. So you get how many, Kat? 3 of your blue, 1 of your sand and 1 of your white, plus you get your pattern, and that is to make the most adorable cardie. We love it. You do also have in your pattern, by the way, though, the lion. So if you want to do it in the other colourway, there is also availability. So you could just do the lion in your cream, couldn't you? So you could do a blue hoodie like this. I'm confusing myself, with a cream and white lion. Yes. Your graphics at the moment are for the blue. You get all of your blue, plus you get your sand, and you get your white for your giraffe. £16.25. We're in single figures for that now. It's been very, 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 very popular. If you have got it in your basket, please do check out. People are buying multiples of that one. I love it. Right, so the lion is your other option. I'll show you the finished sample again. So there you go. You're getting 3 of your pink, 1 of your cream, and 1 of your orange, which again, you could do, of course, you could do the giraffe, these colours as well. See, the giraffe one as well. Obviously, the giraffe is on the cardigan, but you could do it on the hoodie. No problem. It would be suitable for the hoodie as well. Just do your giraffe. And the giraffe would be giraffe colours, wouldn't it? You've got your orange and your cream, so it worked perfectly. Mix and match. Use your imagination a bit and decide which colourway you want and which design you want to do. £16.99 because your pattern comes with both the lion and the giraffe. Also, very, very, very popular was the first one that we started with, which was the polar bear. Oh, now Katharine showed us how to do the buttonholes. Jot down today's date if you want to watch that back. It is absolutely beautiful. Once again, you get your 3 balls of your grey. You also get your white and you get your sand, plus you get your pattern. All for £16.99. This one's the one with the hippo. So you also get your pattern for the hippo, which is really cute. So there's the polar bear one that we're talking about, the colourways for the polar bear. $16.99, all great prices. Now, all of the patterns are different sizes. You can see there, they're not ages, they're sizes. So make sure you have a look on there to which size you want to do. And obviously the blankets are very, very popular indeed. It's definitely worth checking out on any of those. Have a look back through the website, because things like our needles or our stitch counters, anything that Katharine was mentioned is all there on the web, and it's only one postage and packaging all day. So have a good think about which kits you want to check out on, but don't wait too long, because lots of these are sold out. And once again, a huge, huge thank you to all of our viewers who have been knitting from home for us. And thank you, Katharine, for sticking with us all day. It's been a pleasure.
Always a pleasure.
It's been lovely having you with us. Tomorrow, coming up on Yarn Lane, we've got Nitty Critters here. Sewing Street is going to be, of course, back from 8 a.m. Great day on Sewing Street, packed full of guests and Nitty Critters. In fact, I don't think Wendy's got an hour on her own tomorrow. Very, very busy show. And then at 12 o'clock, Nitty Critters, which is going to be brilliant. Crocheting demos tomorrow. We have no excuse, do we? Us newbies, us beginners, we can do it, especially with the prices of these kits. Thank you ever so much for your company today. It is lovely, lovely to have you with us as always. If you want the cover stitch machine, by the way, stay with us for the repeat coming up straight after this. Of course, we're about to hand over as well to our sister channel, Jewellery Maker. I am back on Tuesday. I'll see you then.